What's up, everybody? We're going to go over a straight ankle lock, okay? This is a move that's legal for everybody, but not everybody is good at it. It's like every submission. I've been in the game about 15 years now. I've competed a fair amount through the colored belt levels. And, you know, it's one of these, it's legal in all of the tournament organizations at white belt, but I don't even think I have some leg lock wins. I don't think any of them were a straight ankle lock. As a matter of fact, one time I had a straight ankle set at Pans. The guy tapped, but the Portuguese ref, or the ref speaking in Portuguese to the other competitor and their coach, said it was a knee bar. Anyway, I got disqualified. So, you know, I think too there's a stigma of like getting away from leg locks for those sort of reasons, like you can't do all of them at like white, blue, and purple and the IBJJF and so on. But straight ankle lock you can always do at all belt levels. You just have to be sure that they don't, invert their knee and make it look like a knee bar or something. So some honorable mentions on this that I think Stephen Kofer, he's been on my podcast, Sambo Steve, he's a rolled up episode. I think he's got a great leg lock system. I think that some other people out there, Gokar Shavichin, Gokar, however you want to say it, has got a great leg lock system. Obviously, John Donaher, which does less straight ankle lock, but still, like, he's amazing. And so these are people I've studied over the years, and the most recent being Donaher, and who I think, honestly, to be the best. I'm going to go over this set of details. I got this from a private lesson with Roli Delgado that I did recently, and this is what we started off with, right? And we did a bunch of entries and passing and rolled, and it was great. But it was really just a difference in order of operations, okay? Now, a lot of people wrap the leg. Okay, yeah. He tapped. I did it, right? And it was not bad. Good job, Brian, right? It was a good ankle lock. That's how I've been doing it for the last few years. Now, the change in the order of operations is I'm not gonna wrap the leg. If I wrap the leg and depend on sliding down the leg all the way, because that's what I need to do. I need to get way on down there. That's about where I need. Now I'm like really far away from him. I mean, I can recover from that here, right? Here's the issue. Put the boot on. Like, point your yes. I can't go back any further. Okay? So if you wrap his leg at the get, it like alerts him to the fact that you're about to ankle lock him. Okay? So you don't want to do that initially. What I'm going to do is slide here. Right? So I go, like my tricep is going all the way to this like toe line. Right? So I'm doing that. No gi, I cup here. This is a cool detail from that private lesson is, as you do this, I'm going to punch his gi. Right? So I punch the gi this way versus scooting back, right? So I punch the gi and then here. So I get to where it's just almost coming out, right? And then I wrap and I fall and there. Okay? Now, that's just to illustrate the hip. Okay? From Michael's perspective, if I put my shoulder where my elbow is, right? What will happen is my head will go further away. I actually kind of compact up and crunch on this side that his foot is on, right? I like this too because I'm doing all of this one-handed, okay? So think about sinking that, and my head was closer to Michael, went further away, and that it accentuates the lock. Moving the hips forward just a little bit. Now turning down as you move the hips forward, okay? So you're doing all that at once. You can get the tap along the way, right? But the goal is to, sink, wrap, there, okay? Collapse from that shoulder to the elbow, hips forward, turning belly down. So one thing I thought was cool, and Justin Rader teaches and drills guillotines this way, it's like you know, let's say, okay, 7, and I'm not rapping on these, right? Okay, you could. 8, 9, 10. Right? So where, you know, I think like Donaher talks about this. He's like, you know, training leg locks the way they need to be finished is a little dangerous. So that's why a lot of practice rooms avoid it. When he does things like take the slack out, slack removal he calls it, and, you know, changes the way the lock is applied to ensure that you get the braking force required, that's what I'm doing there, right? It's like, yes, I can drill it, get the tap quickly, but usually he taps before I go belly down. And then you get like in the heat of battle, another black belt, they ain't tapping to your ankle. Like we had a guy here the other day, he's a brown belt. It had an ankle lock tattooed, like a lock and key on his ankle. Like, you know, so like, but his move was the ankle lock. He was doing it. And it's like, you know, when you roll with somebody that has a good understanding of leg locks, a good understanding of ankle locks, being able to do it in a way where they can't boot. So sliding down and wrapping's one of the last things I do. Turning belly down with the lock. A lot of times they may tap when you start moving the hips and you don't see the belly down rotation away. Okay? So just some details. And for me, like walking away from that, having done the ankle lock for a long time, I was like, oh, I just changed two things I was doing. I now, instead of wrapping the leg first and sliding down to get where I want, because he may defend and I won't get as far down as I want, I will just stay here like that, right? I'm way, way up, okay? And as this was taught to me and mentioned, that may happen if you live and die by this sword, okay? That'll be, you dying, it'll be, whoa, right? You lost a foot. But here, do. Feel like that's it. Then I wrap, okay? Then I set in, I want a little pushing pressure away. I'm on my elbow, I collapse. Very minimal pressure. And he tapped because it's tight, right? People been tapping on this quick when I'm showing it. And, you know, that's before I even got to do the turn belly down and explode away. But, you know, syncing it up, then turning, exploding. I think those are really good methods to drill. And, again, I mentioned Justin Rader does that on his guillotines, and the person's face when he lets go of the head but does everything else is sheer horror. It's hilarious, right? But that's a method. There's 2 high-level black belt competitors, Justin being a no-gi world champion and ADCC medalist. If not champion, I can't remember if he won ADCC or not, honestly, but I know he medaled. And it's like those are 2 high-level people, Roli fought in the UFC, that they drill that way. So that tells me as a fellow black belt and a school owner, I'm like, okay, that's a method. It's a way people teach moves and instill moves in their students. And so that's something that was of note to me. So straight ankle lock, set of details. We've got another video on the straight ankle lock on our channel. Check that out. It's one of our most viewed videos, and it's just, again, just a change in order of operations. Thanks, guys.